welcome back to the Gentleman's Lounge. How y'all doing? What's up, everybody? Since, my boys gonna kind of put me out there, though, so the shades come on. So you got none other than Jared Jones. What's up, man?
What's up, bro? How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling pretty good, actually.
You know, it's warm outside. I got my thighs out, man. You see this?
Yeah.
Got your
turkey socks on, too.
Right.
Socks on,
It's
too.
purposely done, man.
And we got your boy AJ, man. What's up, man?
What up? Got handsome phenom. We got AJ Simmons. Y'all already know what it is, man. Somebody called me Albert today, and I never even told them my name is Albert.
I mean, it's on the cover when the podcast airs. You know that, right? We keep telling
you. AJ, man. Y'all gotta cook. You gotta stop doing that.
You gotta blame Frankie.
Y'all gotta stop doing that, man. Y'all gotta stop putting my government.
Anyway, you got Lessons More. What's up, y'all, man? We're gonna go ahead and keep this moving. Excited, of course. We got a special guest on today. None other than, one of Chicago's own. I got heat for her too.
Uh-oh.
You got that, man. But we got Linnae Harper, man. What's up, y'all?
What's up? Thanks for having me. What's up, y'all? What's up?
Been a long time coming. Just got back from Puerto Rico not too long ago.
Yeah, living my best life on the beach,
Yeah.
every day.
I love
You
Puerto
was
Rico.
hooping out there too?
Yeah, I was hooping out there, yeah.
Got you. You have quite a career already.
Yeah, my apartment was literally right off the beach. So
You should have bought something out there.
Are you a hooper?
Yeah. Hooper.
I seen the video. I don't know if the people out there know, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was trying to
It
drop
almost
in,
looked like a commercial. I seen the video you hooping. It was like in black and white. Was it a commercial? Was that
It wasn't a commercial, but a lot of people
looked
thought
like
that,
it was.
yeah.
Oh, that's a vibe.
I'm like,
Yeah.
man,
They
she
thought it was a
cold.
commercial.
I had this vision and he
bust
brought
up.
it to life.
Who did?
His name is Jackson. Yeah.
Got you, Jack Jackson.
Yeah.
Wait, is his name Jackson or
It's
Jack?
Jackson.
I'm like, Jack Jackson. Okay.
Jack Jackson.
That don't sound like a made-up name. No, I'm just playing. But for those who don't know, you got WNBA. You got Women's Olympics a little bit. What? Yeah. Make sure I got this right. City champ in high school, too. We don't really care about the high school because we rep in Morgan Park all day. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Everybody else is kind of like, it is what it is, especially when it comes to hooping and track. All right, Morgan Park, and I'll say it, Whitney Young High School, those are the two schools that we don't see eye to eye when it comes down to
The Mustangs?
the Mustangs, yeah.
Not the.
The Mustangs.
Not the.
The Mustangs, when it comes down to track and basketball, we don't get along too well. Luckily, I play football as well, so.
How was the football team?
Oh, we dominated. Yeah. City, we didn't even talk City when we was playing.
That's how I feel about Winnie Young. Morgan Park couldn't touch us.
Yeah, on your era, yeah, you're right. What about track, though?
I don't know about
Women's
that.
track, Morgan Park was dominant. Literally, we probably dominated the whole city for like a decade.
Did you run track though?
Yeah, I was 3-sport athlete.
What you run?
4x4, open 4,
Like
4x2, 4x1. Yeah,
With the glasses on and shit.
man, those are long sprinters, man.
For
Oh,
real.
man.
Glasses,
What's
though.
your best race?
Probably the 4x4. Yeah.
It's like he making this up.
200 for me.
I play safety, so you gotta have that speed all day.
You don't
can't
have,
be
you
like,
don't have to have anything but coordination and be able to read the plays. That's all. You
is
gotta have
that it?
That's it.
That's it. That's all you gotta do is safety.
You don't really have to be in shape to play football.
Oh, wait, hold on. Wait a minute.
Definitely do.
Just, I mean,
All that equipment.
once it changes, you can sit on the sideline. You got a nice little break.
Nice little break. Not if it's like sunshine.
That's true.
The damn offense turned the ball over, then you back on the
You
field.
back on the field.
That's true.
Like D1 football is almost similar to NFL football, where it's like, yo, if you're a starter, you ain't just starting on defense.
You on
Like
special
you starting on
teams.
special teams too.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that's
Imagine
true.
you go from kickoff, running this full sprint down. There's your 400, right? Even though I know it's a full 400. Then you go to defense, right?
Yeah.
Let's just say they have 3 nice, first downs or whatever. You finally get them to stop on the 45-yard line. Make them punt the ball, whatever it is. All right, cool. So you're on punt return team now, right? All right, after punt return team, then you go to the sideline. Offense goes 3 and out. Punt,
Back on there.
right back up, dog. So literally you on the field all the time.
These are sprints.
That's
Sprints.
true. That's true.
But I will say the difference though, based on like what type of D1. So a MAC school compared to like an SEC school, because you went to Kentucky and then you went to Ohio State.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't like Ohio State.
Damn, wait, you play
Dang, you
basketball.
don't like Winnie Young and Ohio State? What's
Ohio
the
State
beef?
have, like Toledo's the only school I'm going to root for. But the
Nothing like a
difference
Buckeye, though. I'm sorry.
I respect y'all, but I'll root for Michigan before I root for Buckeye.
That's crazy.
You're not going to come to the winning team, though?
Nah. I mean, the Bulls ain't winning. Does that mean I'm supposed to like discard them?
No comment on the Bulls.
Goddamn.
I'm a Bulls fan though, but no.
You better be a Bulls fan.
I'm a Chicago fan.
Yeah, I am too.
Always.
Except more of Cubs than Sox. I'm so sorry.
We can just end this right now.
Damn.
100%.
Are you from the South Side? Nah, she nah.
Somebody
Honestly, the
somebody-
reason why is because when I was in high school, they took us to a game.
That's what I was
That
saying.
was my first time ever being exposed to baseball.
Yeah.
I was like, this is cool. So that's the only place they took us to. And our baseball team played there for their, finals or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's all that I knew was the Cubs. I didn't know
That's how
nothing
they
about
play us because nobody wants to be taken to the White Sox stadium.
And the
It's
tickets were cheaper, too.
It's just
Yeah,
but it's not an attractive place, compared to like the Cubs.
Historic.
So that's how they be stealing our fans.
They take us on trips, have us sitting, nice seats. And
How many Cubs games you been to?
man, not a lot, but I try to go to a few games every year when I'm home.
Can you sit through a full game?
I don't know. It's kind of tough.
I can't sit
7 innings, maybe.
It didn't
Have to
change
be a
now
good
with all rule
The new rule
changes and clocks and
changes.
all that. It's like I can sit and watch a game on TV now. Like
Yeah.
that's how much it's changed. And I play baseball, so I have appreciation for baseball
played
games
baseball
and stuff
too,
like
man.
that. You wasn't good though.
I play T-ball.
I like the vibe though.
Yeah,
You just go to the game,
the energy.
energy.
Yeah.
Hawks game. Have you ever been to a Blackhawks game?
I have.
Now that energy is different.
It is.
That's actually my favorite sports
Watching that shit
to watch to
live,
go to. Actually,
man.
This lady was sitting like 3 rows ahead of me, and the puck
hit her in the face.
I was over with. Yeah.
Did she like just straight pass out concussion, or was it just like bump her nose?
No, she was leaking. Like she was bleeding. They came and got her. 20 minutes later, she came back with a
knew
bandage
it.
on.
See?
She was like, "I'm back.
I would
ready
have
for the
had
game
season tickets for the rest of the year.
for the rest of your life."
That's the waiver you sign, dog. That's the waiver you sign when you into the stadium. You are a part of the game.
Part of it.
So anything hits you, you done. Like it is what it
Yeah.
is. So what's that career like though, man? Because I mean, just reading up on it, just watching you as you grow and continue to grow. I mean, you only 28?
28.
28.
Young.
Man,
Still in your prime. Your knees
Still in my
good.
Prime as hell.
He's all right. I don't know.
but to play in for big teams, like the SEC, the Big Ten, the WNBA, overseas, it's got to be a crazy experience. Like, walk us through like what that is to experience the world in that way.
It's sometimes still like I'm dreaming. Ever since I was 5, I'm like, I want to hoop.
Yeah.
And I did that every day. That's all that I did. And then once I got older, maybe 16 or 17, I'm like, I might be good.
Yeah.
Like I can do this. But it wasn't until I got invited for USA my first year is when I realized like I could hoop with the best of the best.
Yeah.
Oh, I was 16, so that might have been like 2011, 12 maybe.
That's the 16U USA team?
Yep.
Okay.
And it was like 150 of us that tried out for the team.
Oh, shit.
12-person roster. And I was one of the 12 that made it.
Oh, I said you go.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, all right, I can hoop a little bit. Yeah.
What's that? Take it to the next level. Take it to the next
Yeah,
level.
and then coming out of high school, I was top 5 in the country. Could have went anywhere but Kentucky. They had 7 All-Americans. Crazy program. The men's basketball team, Calipari.
How was the facilities?
Oh man, they
know
treated
they was
us like
top-notch. I know
what?
that.
Treated us like we were, just golden. Then transferred to Ohio State. That's when I got introduced to football. I'm like, what is football?
That's a cult. Yeah.
So how many years did you at Kentucky?
I did 2 years there, and then I did a year and a half at Ohio State.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Never forget, I went to my first football game. They played Penn State.
Ooh, I know that shit was live. That's
It
right
was
from damn
10
near.
o'clock in the morning, and it was like 100,000 people tailgating. And I was like, so I get to the game, and I don't really know about the seats, but I was right in the middle. Like,
Are you in the student section?
no, I just,
You got some. Oh, you had some other seats.
yeah, right in the middle, like 4 rows up.
Damn.
Great seats. And it was like,
Who was on football team at that time?
What, in 2016?
Zeke,
Zeke was on?
he had just left, but it was, I forgot, what's his name, Jared, the quarterback? He got drafted, like maybe
JT Barrett.
JT Barrett. Yeah, he was there.
Quarterback.
He was a great college quarterback.
Yeah,
really was.
Mediocre NFL.
Yeah.
But I saw a lot of Ohio State quarterbacks are.
Yeah.
Same like Alabama. A lot of them are mediocre.
Self-adjusted.
Once they get to the NFL.
Nah, yeah.
TBD. TBD. I'm rooting for my man. So the TBD.
TBD.
They gotta get him some help.
Adjusted,
Yeah, they got him a little help, but
Yeah, you got to throw the ball.
So playing college ball on a big stage like in Ohio State, how nervous were you like your first game going out there? Because I can't imagine like playing football on a big ass field. And you got 100,000 fans, and it's just like, damn, they all just sitting here watching 11 of us play.
It's fun when you're on defense.
Yeah, but like it can be nervous as hell. Like going out there your first game, like butterflies, like crazy.
Yeah, you know what? It's honestly at Kentucky, so we averaged maybe 10,000 fans for a game, and I was nervous. I'm like, the gym was so loud. Even if you go to play at Tennessee, Iowa, those gyms were packed every game.
Yeah.
Same thing with Ohio State, but once the ball tipped up, I couldn't.
Right?
That was it.
Got zero in on the court after that.
That was it. Yeah, I was looking in the stands like, where's my mom? I saw her. She's good. I'm like, all right, it's good to go.
Every bucket I make, it's for you, mama.
It's probably a little different for football though, because we got helmets on, so we can kind of close out a few things a little bit. So there's a little bit.
No, you still see.
Almost done.
Yeah.
Almost done.
In the crowd, it's the crowd. I played at Ohio State. I played at Michigan, and I played in some big schools where, from a defensive standpoint, you love it.
Yeah.
Unless you get
Because you feed off of it.
Yeah.
unless you get juked or miss a tackle, then you don't really love it after that.
It's over with.
Yeah, it's over.
Stands going crazy.
Next play, but from a defense standpoint, the louder the crowd, the better. And that's why the offenses always want the crowd so small. Because you make that one big hit, and you hear the crowd go like that. Oh! Like, oh yeah, I did this at your house, bro. I did this at your house, and that's the piece that I love the most.
Yeah.
So what made you transfer from Kentucky to Ohio State?
You know
Better
what?
opportunity?
That's a good question. It was just me and the coach. We just didn't, click. And he was a great person, and now you see all these kids transferring.
Yeah.
It's like you had
Wish it was that easy
thousands
back
of
then.
kids. I had to sit out. But Ohio State was always my number one choice when I graduated from high school.
Okay.
And when I got there, 3 other athletes transferred from Duke, North Carolina. So we came in all together as like top 5 in the country.
Damn.
And we just made it happen. We won Big Ten back-to-back, conference and tournament. So it was just like,
You got a Big Ten ring?
of
You
course.
brought that. You should have brought
Yeah,
that.
you got 2 months back to back. You got 2
Yeah, back-to-back. Yeah, so it was
see
cool,
that.
though. Yeah.
Be fired up. I want to know what recruiting is like. I don't think I've ever asked a female athlete at that, whether Division I or pro level, what recruiting was like when they were playing. I know what it's like for a man, but I don't know what it's like for a female going to that level.
They lay out the red carpet.
Really?
Like, especially if you're a player that
Really, really
They
want.
want, yeah.
what? They lay it out. I'm not gonna say everything, but
Oh, you can say a couple things. You keep it a
You
bean.
can just say one of the schools.
it's almost as if like it's like a fairy tale. They take you to like the best restaurants. They put you up in the best hotel. You got 24-hour, assistants, like all of that. They lay it out. Photo shoots in your jersey.
It's like he got game.
Man.
Low key, like that movie, it wasn't live when they was like showing all that stuff where they introduce you to everything. So it sounds like it's the same across like the board with every athlete. Yeah.
And one thing that sold me, so I went on a visit to UCLA, a few other schools, but
UCLA might have had me.
I think they were sponsored by like Adidas, if I'm
Yeah,
not
it was.
mistaken.
And that's
Always
what
be looking
that was
at
my
the-
next
And I
question.
was
You
just
always look
kind
at
of
the
like,
brands.
I don't know.
Adidas.
But Kentucky, all Nike. So it was like they laced us up. And then
Yeah.
even Ohio State, we signed that deal with Nike and LeBron.
Yeah.
So they made sure we were straight. Like even how we traveled. Charter flights. Like
Wait, y'all didn't travel by bus?
no, in college charter flights. They bus
Only
you right to the plane.
Like local games, right? Like if y'all were to play,
Like close, 2 hours, hour and 30.
like if y'all were to play, well, they usually come to y'all though, don't y'all? But if y'all play like somewhere in Cleveland, they would fly out of Cleveland.
Normally they will come to us if it's that close. But other places we flew everywhere.
Everything out of state, right?
Bus took us literally right up to the plane. We got literally walked 10 steps to get on, and that was it.
What the fuck? That's crazy. I didn't get that. I played D3, so.
I mean, shit, if they
But you know what?
It's a little different.
It's different now. Like when you get to the WNBA, it's different. You
Yeah.
go through regular security, commercial flights, So yeah, it's the complete opposite.
Yeah.
You get limited gear in the league. When you in college, it's like,
Really?
I need, an
See,
extra
that's
pair
what
of
I
shoes.
didn't know. Damn, they just stingy like
That is
huh?
crazy.
Yeah.
controlling that
Why
cost.
do you know
I mean,
why?
because that's essentially compensation. You know, in college you ain't getting paid, so in the league you get paid. So that's
I mean, they're
still
getting
wearing
paid in
your,
college,
but I'm still wearing your stuff though.
right.
But
So you're
now
making
these
money
kids
off-
are getting paid though.
Yeah, they are those NIL deals.
They getting paid almost, $500,000, even $1 million.
Man,
Do you think that tarnishes like somebody going to go play at a specific school because of money? So say I feel like I'll fit better at a smaller school, but if I go to Alabama and I can make $1 million on an NIL deal, I'm gonna just go there and not really play for real. Like,
Yeah, I think so. Even more for the women
Mm-hmm.
because they're making more money. I don't know if you saw the Angel Reese comment. She was like, "I'm in no rush. Like
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm making more than
what she gonna
people in
make
the
when she
league,
get out here?
the highest paid player."
Yeah.
So I think these athletes are looking like if I transfer, I'm trying to see how much money I can make. And that's a question mark as far as like playing at the professional level because it's like when I was growing up, I played for the love of the game. Like
Right.
getting to the league was like
it's a
just
big thing, yeah.
ultimate goal. But now it's like it just seems as if it might be a secondary, like I already got my money, I got my NILs, but I could play in the league, it's cool for bragging rights or whatever. But I hope they can figure out a way to like balance it,
Yeah.
It's tough because I hear what you're saying, but I mean now that I'm thinking about it, it's tough because a lot of kids. I know when I was growing up, you want to make it to the league. I mean, yeah, you one of the best. I mean, you want to play in the pros, but you want to make it so you can have money to feed your family.
Yeah.
You're like, yo, I want those millions, So
Yeah.
because a lot of times we didn't have it when we was growing up.
Right.
So now, shoot, it kind of changes your perspective on life, where it's like, okay, is ball life? If I can make these couple meals, the 3-4 years in college, and then save my body for the rest of my life, and we walk out of college like with $4 million or something like that,
Yeah.
even $1 million to get me started, that's tough.
Literally, like even now, I mean, a lot of players play, internationally because there's more money over there too. So it's like now you got to go where you getting paid,
Yeah.
because you could play in a league, but if you just getting paid minimum salary, it's like you still got to go find a job once the season's over with.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not enough.
Right.
Exactly.
So speaking of the NILs, so before that was a thing, and say you was a top tier athlete, you were on scholarship and all that. Is it true, or do you know athletes who would like still be struggling? They can be on scholarship and all that, but still be struggling to like have money for meals and things like that while they were in school. Because I've seen and read that a lot of places, and that's part of the reason why like some of these athletes get in trouble with taking money from boosters, just trying to get a meal. But like, is that something that you saw often?
Absolutely. I mean, I dealt with that. Me and my teammates, even at the best programs, I mean, we probably got like $200 a month. Obviously we had like the flex cards and you can get food, but you can't really do much with $200 a month. And we had cards, we wanted to go out, have fun.
To
So
buy some clothes and you ain't got no cash really.
Yeah.
So
now when I transferred to Ohio State, it got better. So we got paid like maybe $1,500 every 2 weeks. But if you want to live off campus, get your own spot, then obviously you got to pay for it yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a struggle. Like I've been offered, money from a school, I mean more than money, but I didn't take it.
Yeah.
For various reasons because it's like
NCAA don't play.
they don't play.
They don't play.
But yeah, they talk about how the guys get incentives and, deals and stuff like that. But it's the same for, the women too. But I don't think the women are they're not just going to take it just because, you know. So, yeah.
So do you like the idea, coming from being an athlete who had to struggle sometimes, like do you like the idea of the NIL deals to put more money in the athletes' pockets, or do you think that it's still like it has to be a balance somewhere?
I think it has to be a balance. Like some of these, athletes are making so much money, and I'm trying to understand how college athletes can get paid so much from NIL deals, but pro athletes, that's not a thing.
Yeah.
Right?
from the WNBA women's standpoint, or
Just,
like just
period,
general?
in general,
Period.
right? Whether if it's WNBA, international, like if you're like maybe the top 4% of your team, then you probably have a deal with a Nike or, some type of clothing brand or something like that. But just in general, if you're just a pro athlete, there is no NIL deals that's just coming your way. You have to find someone, hire them to find opportunities for you. But these college kids, I mean, they knocking on their doors,
Nah, that's a great point. I think it's just about like who's more impersonable, right? So I mean, the largest stadium is a college stadium that can house, hundreds, 100,000 plus people. I think it's like 110. I think it's what it's currently at or something, which is like insane compared to like an NFL or NBA or WNBA place. And then on top of that, you got not only does the fans are in the stadium, but you got more people watching these college games because they want to follow their favorite players as they continue to grow up. College kids are more, personable to actually convince them to be like, oh, you know what? Well, now you should drink this, and now you should take this protein. And you got to study for a test. Now you just do this and do this.
But to add to that too, I think college athletes, to your point, they have they do a little bit more storytelling in college. They dive deep into like the athlete's background, like how they got to this point. What do they deal with? With the W, I think it's a gap. It's a gap between the players and the fans and trying to get more fans. I mean, the championship game, it was almost 10 million viewers. The gym was...
The NCAA Women's Championship?
Yeah, it was sold out, right? So how can we change that for the league?
Yeah.
That's a good point.
The athletes have to connect within their cities with the people that's connected to the community the most. That's the only way it's going to grow.
That's a good point.
Women or just in general?
Well, I mean, for the NBA, it's been, 76 years? So 75 years. So they've been doing this for a very long time. But it's been 26 years for the women.
Yeah.
So they're still growing, and they've made much progress. But at the same time,
Still
a big gap.
you got to get out there. You got to do the things you don't want to do, right?
Now, that's a good point because I know like the women that I follow for like for amateur sports, once they get to the pros, I typically just drop off. And I'm not gonna lie. And like you said, there's a gap there because there's no story being told. There's no connection that's really there. The only other part of that I want you to help me understand. This is the only reason why I cannot watch women's basketball consistently.
Okay.
Is the gap in scoring when it comes down to top tier teams. Like I hate watching a number 1 and number 2 team play and it'd be a 40-point difference. Or the top 1 and 3 or something like that. I could stand 1 and 16, something like that. When you got 2 top tier teams playing each other, there's a 30, 40-point gap. You're like, where's the competition at? That's the only time I have an issue watching the game.
Wow. You know what? You're the first person I've ever heard that. I always hear like other comments, but I'm like, that's a good point.
I want it to be competitive. Like I want to see y'all go out. I want to be like, oh, like the Miami and Iowa game was a good game. Yeah. Like, even though it looked like they kind of blew them out, they was in control most of the game. However, they was fighting. And Shorty Caitlin, she put up like 30 points in the first half or something?
Man, she was
30 in the first half.
Yeah, she was.
The game was like 40,
like 42 or 41 points.
Yeah.
Like she was hooping, right? But you can't do it by yourself. At the same time, LSU played on top of somebody coming off the bench and just like being like, this is my moment.
Yeah.
But they played a really good game throughout. That was a good game to me.
Oh, no, that was a great game.
But when you see other games, you're just like, okay, why, let's say Notre Dame and Tennessee, 2 top teams usually. Why are they playing each other and why is it like a 35 points?
They just got outcoached.
Yeah. But it's like, and like you said, it's, WNBA is a lot younger. So you start to see that growth. And then the college-wise, it's still young. But you want to see more competition, at least in my opinion. That's my only issue with watching it consistently. I'm
gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna be real.
Go ahead.
With my experience in the league and watching where the league is going now, I think that it's just a rotation of the same athletes, right? So you have your top 4 athletes from each team, right? Very similar to the NBA, right? But if you have great players from all over, or incoming college athletes that can really add something to your team, but most teams are very comfortable with what they have.
Yeah.
And that is where those gaps come from, right? You have players that are maybe on teams because they, good in the locker room or a good personality, which is 100% okay. Like, I'm for everybody, but if you want to see the league grow, it has to be a little bit more on, like, the game competitiveness, right? If you look at the NBA, it's men, right? They dunk and they're faster, more athletic. Like, people are naturally drawn to that. In my opinion, the game's not terrible. There's no defense. Yeah. It's 120 to 130.
I can't watch the NBA until the playoffs. I really can't watch
but people are gonna watch it because it's just like, man,
they want to see Steph
Be honest,
Curry
the NBA to me
score
is
40 points and hit all threes.
But so I think that's if the league wants to grow, they got to be able to add players that can really change the game.
And make it competitive.
And make it competitive. That's what it's gonna come down to.
That's crazy you say that.
It's kind of weird because the The NBA is supposed to be the best players, though. So
I mean, it's
figure out where you
breed.
The best athletes, yeah.
But that's crazy though, because Vegas just signed Candace Parker,
Yeah.
and they now have like 4 number 1 draft picks on their team, or first
Yeah.
round, something crazy.
They have a
And it's
crazy
like-
roster.
And it's like that, just like you said, like the top 4 in the league are on one team. Like that's.
I think they
just
gonna take it?
It's incredible.
Man,
If they don't,
I would be
Year one, I
like,
always say year one, you don't take it.
I don't know.
I don't know.
man.
You got Chelsea Gray, you got Asia Wilson, Kelsey Plum, Candace Parker, Jackie Young.
But year one is
Raquana
hard. Like,
Williams.
how many teams have won year one? Of like loading the team up.
But
It's tough.
back to what you just
that
said,
Celtics
though.
team?
You said the number 1 and number 2 team. I don't think it's a team in the league that can
Nah.
truly match up with them
Nah.
from
Especially from
1
a
to
series
12.
standpoint.
Like, regular season,
Right.
cool.
When you actually got a series against somebody, yeah.
It's no way. I mean, Chelsea Gray averaged, 29, 30 points in the finals.
Yes.
Easy. It's like,
Yeah.
Insane.
then you got Asia Wilson coming in at 19, 20. You got Kelsey Plum throwing in another 19.
Nice.
Nice.
Asia's nice.
You want to take some bets?
Yeah.
So,
I'm gonna bet that they don't win it the first time.
but that's something else that's coming up now.
Betting. Sports
Men
betting
and women
is
are
insane.
betting on,
Yeah.
Sports betting is
money makes the world go round, man.
It does.
well, that
It
betting
does.
it's crazy. It's sick actually. Like
Yeah.
nowadays they throw it on TV everywhere. Bet on this,
And
bet on
that's,
that.
That's why I think some of the games aren't as competitive, because you can't sit here and tell me that players ain't looking at their props before the game and be like, they got me for plus 3 threes.
Think they looking at that?
Man, what?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I was looking at stats.
Now, you
before
know
that.
what's one thing I don't like?
I was looking before and after stats.
But
When
FanDuel,
you look before
sports
game,
bet,
FanDuel,
I'm
yeah.
talking about those.
Bro.
He talking about that.
That's why.
Oh yeah, let me
no,
see
but
what they got
that's-
my
that's
over and
why-
under on.
That's why. What's his
I
name?
ain't trying to hit
I mean,
that.
not from a betting standpoint, but you still,
Yeah,
even when
that.
even in college, like I was looking to see like, okay, who they highlight as the best players.
Oh,
of the
How do
year.
y'all
that,
feel about
but I'm talking
load
sports
management?
bet. You talking about
Is
sports
that
bet,
low
right?
management?
Yeah.
I don't know much.
I don't like that.
So low
Tell me
management
about
is
it.
like, athletes are, I've played too many games, or it's like wear and tear on my body. I'm not going to play X amount of games. So now they changed the rule. It's like you have to play, 60 or 65 games
yeah.
to be,
Eligible
to get any
for-
awards,
Yeah.
And I'm like, people pay so much money to come to the games, and
You want to see the player play?
yeah.
Anthony Edwards just said it best. He was just like, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna try to play every game that I can, because you never know, somebody could be coming to this game and this could be their first game of the season, and this is all the money that they had to come to this game. They want to come see you play, and you can't play because you're in low management. Like, that's unfair to the fans, the people who are putting money into the team, not into the team directly, but indirectly. Like, the fans are what keep the sport going. So if you're not
Charles
playing
Barkley.
like that,
And do you really have to practice?
Yeah, I'm torn.
That could be your off. That could be your off day, in between games.
I don't think you should. I agree. I don't think you should, because I knew about it, but I didn't know it was called that.
Yeah.
But I do think that you should be able to take practices off.
Practice,
I don't think you should be able to elect what games you play.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that piece I agree with.
yeah, if
It was a
play,
kid
I'ma play.
that came from, like, I don't know, Argentina or something, to watch the game, and
What's his name? Didn't play.
yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
Oh, was it Jimmy Butler?
Yes, Jimmy
Yeah.
Butler didn't
But
play.
he ended up coming back. They gave
Giving
him
him a
tickets,
ticket,
but it was
yeah.
like that little boy probably was crushed.
Yeah.
Hey, you roll the dice. Shoot, you may want to go see Zeke play one day back when he was at Ohio State, but then he get hurt that week, the week before. You got to just.
I mean, that's different than
tickets.
getting
different.
Yeah.
hurt
If
the
you
week
get hurt.
before, but like you elected to not actually play.
But if they know that rule exists, that's the.
What y'all think about Zion?
He's exactly what I told everybody would. We're like, oh, he's gonna take over the game. He's gonna be better than LeBron. I'm like, is he though? Because if you can't last in the league, are you really gonna be? I think he's a phenomenal player.
Absolutely.
He's a great athlete.
But it's one of those things. Like I said, yo, watch, he won't stay healthy.
Yeah, I think he needs to take better care of his body. Like,
Yeah.
You gotta lose some weight.
I don't think it's
They say he was eating crazy though.
Yeah.
New
Before-
Orleans,
you're talking
when he first
when he
when he
got
first
there.
got
Yeah.
there, 'cause
First
he
got there.
really did blow up, and like that, it was coming into this season. Like, after seeing so many people say stuff, like he can't.
It was in rice and beans. That's what he was.
That man wasn't even
If I was in New
walking.
Orleans, let me tell you.
Yeah.
He's over there scooting around and shit.
Man,
Hey, yo, ball.
Get a little big. But I think I agree with you. I take care of your body, but I think some things is just out of your control. And when you a kid that size, that
Genetics.
young, like your body is more. You basically can't keep up with your body's growth.
No, he didn't.
But look
get
how he
tall,
looked
got
in
wide.
college though.
Yeah.
College though, he was
was
like,
big.
That's what I'm
Big
saying.
as hell.
So
You can
imagine-
control getting wide. Watch what you eat.
But I'm saying now he's eating healthy. Now he's good. Like he's cutting a lot of weight.
No.
He plays like 23% of the season.
He still can't stay on the court because and I don't think that has everything to do with like not taking care of his body now. I think his body just can't hold up now. Like, how many players have you seen that's just freak athletes in high school going into college? You're like, yo, you should not be this big or
But
fast.
most of the athletes in the league are in shape to play. He's
never
never
been in shape. For real.
Yeah. That's because he ain't been on the court long enough because he's been hurt.
True.
Because he's been hurt, he can't stay on the court.
But if he gets in shape and just really work on his eating habits and he just sticks to it,
I think he would have to take a whole year off to do that.
they pay him enough.
Yeah.
Damn,
But they want to get him back.
And-
Like, no, come back. Can you run down the court? All right, come back.
That's because they
He
pay
may
him
have to
that
change his
money.
game too.
Fans want to see it.
If he's gonna lose a ton of weight, he's gonna have to change his game a little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Might not have to be as dominant like.
Because who was the one dude that came out of Ohio State? It's the same way.
Greg Oden?
Oden.
No, but he had terrible knees.
Yeah, but he was a dog
He was
though.
a dog in college.
Yeah, he was.
But he couldn't do nothing about his knees.
That's what I'm saying.
How many
That
seasons he
big,
played?
when you weren't even supposed to be that big.
His balls on. You can't control the.
That's what Giants said. Like, I don't
Brandon Roy.
understand.
Brandon Roy, that's a better option because his knees were fine. He was just playing cartilage on cartilage damn near.
Oh yes, it's time to wrap it up.
I mean, Pooh, same
But
person.
I respect his perception on it because he's had injury after injury.
You talking about Pooh or
Yeah.
I agree. That's one of those things like he literally you just can't control what.
Yeah.
Those are just things like yo. Some people are just injury prone, and that was his case. And when they want to take care of his body, wasn't like he was playing hard, but it's like
No, he was eating Skittles before every game.
I'm pretty sure that didn't cause his ligaments to get weak.
He did say Skittles was his favorite though.
That ain't gonna cause his ligaments to get ACL torn.
But a lot of the players in the
Skittles.
league don't eat too good though.
Yeah.
So
Their
what?
diets are
You said
terrible.
most athletes?
A lot of athletes.
I would agree, yeah. Especially
Chad
if you're just
Johnson.
naturally athletic.
He used to eat McDonald's before the game.
So,
Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco.
well, some people just got their routines, though.
Yeah.
He is hilarious.
He was like he did an interview on YouTube.
On the field. If you eat McDonald's before the game, okay. All right.
You can't
You're good. You can't be stopped. Yeah.
Who said his McNuggets?
Who said you can't eat unhealthy and still be an athlete like this?
Man.
Yeah.
It's DNA though. It's genetics.
Yeah, I agree. Not a lot of people could do it. Wow. What was you? Did you have any injuries in college?
No, I've never had, any surgeries or nothing major like that. A little minor,
I ain't even would.
Yeah, ankle sprains, stuff like that. But other than that, nah.
So
When I was in high school, I did slightly fracture my ankle the day before super sectionals.
Right.
And my ankle was like the size of a grapefruit. And my mom was like, "You're not playing." My coach was
tried to
like,
play?
"What?" She has no choice but to play.
And you played?
What? Wrapped my ankle up like it was a cast.
Jesus Christ.
We had the game and we went into 4 overtimes.
What?
Yes, we won though, so it was worth it.
How many ibuprofens you popped?
What?
right.
And I did not go to school the next 2 days.
That's crazy.
I've been there, man.
Yeah.
As an athlete, you want to play, especially at that level.
Yeah, you gotta fight through it. Stuff like that, you have to. When it could be your last game. If you're a
It's a big
season,
game.
you got to.
As long as you can run up and down the court.
So before you got in the league, who was your favorite WNBA player in the league, or that you looked up to? That you marked your game after.
NBA too. I mean, NBA and WNBA.
My favorite player growing up that played in the W, her name was Katie Smith. She also went to Ohio State. I looked up to her like, she could do everything. NBA originally was Carmelo Anthony. That's why I ended up wearing 15. Back when he was in Denver and he had the braids.
Yeah.
But as I got older, LeBron, he's like my absolute favorite. And people ask like, "Oh, who's the GOAT?" I do think that MJ is the GOAT. But I tell people like I wasn't born when
your
MJ
era.
was playing.
Your
So
era
my
was-
era, my Jordan is LeBron.
LeBron, yeah.
Just like before him,
I wasn't
was
either.
Kobe. You know?
I was born in the 90s, but if Bron had just as many rings as Jordan, I'll easily LeBron.
So what dictates that though? Is
Easily.
it
We're
rings?
not about to go down
Easily.
this rabbit hole.
Is it rings or is it stats?
That's what I'm
Which
trying to figure out.
dictates?
Nobody knows. That's why I said if it had just as many.
I don't think it's
all
either
personal
one.
preference.
All right? It's about the game itself, of what basketball really was. So when Jordan was playing, like you said, there was a balance of offense and defense. Like you actually had to play a team sport. Nowadays, I mean, if you're the tallest, biggest person and you can move down the court, of course you're going to go to the basket every single time and most likely get fouled because I can't get touched.
Look at
But
Giannis.
who's the best?
Bron-
Like what makes it overall like the best player.
That, to your point.
That have made their teammates better around them so that they can have the opportunity to win a championship. So, not
So
just
if
your
Pat
son.
Bev averaged 13, 10, and 4, but they won championships, is he the best player?
Did he make everybody else around him good?
Yeah, I'm saying, but he averaged 13, 10, and 4, but they won a championship. Is he the best player?
I think he's one of the best players there.
Or if, Steph Curry averages 40 and 10 a night, but they make it to the finals.
I don't think Steph Curry makes players around him better, though.
I think it's all about
Spacing.
your impact on the game and if you can change the game. Jordan changed the game. LeBron didn't really change the game. Steph changed the game.
So how did
Steph
Jordan change the game? How did Jordan
How
change
did Jordan
the game?
change the game?
I feel like the game changed.
I
but
agree
Jordan
with
changed
him.
the game.
I
I'm
agree.
curious, I'm asking.
No, Jordan made you. He was one of the best scorers in the league. So motherfuckers wasn't out here trying to score like Magic. Motherfuckers trying to score like Jordan. Jordan also the way that he attacked the
Trying to
rim,
score.
He changed the game on the way people attacked and they having a foul. They put the flagrant foul in place because of Jordan.
And he put like that fire in the rest of his players, right? Yeah. Like he made sure his players weren't afraid to take a shot at the end of a game, no matter who it was. Mm-hmm. He was like a real leader.
I agree.
But
Did he change the game? Or
Right,
did
I
he
don't think
change like the team?
He definitely changed
Jordan
the game because who was
changed the game.
before him?
When I
was
hear
doing some of
change
the
the
stuff that
game,
he was
it's like
doing.
somebody completely shifts, like the league or the game itself has adjusted or shifted.
I think
based on
they may be
this
talking
player's
about
talent.
change the game as Jumpman, and change the philosophy of the game and all that with Jumpman, Jordan.
There was no
Nike.
player before Jordan
No,
doing what
that
he
type
was
of thing.
doing, though.
Right.
I agree. Don't get me wrong. I'm
Dunking
agreeing with
from the
y'all.
free
I just want to
throw.
understand better what y'all thoughts are about how he changed.
But he, like you said, he made everyone around him better.
Because now everybody just wants to shoot
Shoot threes. Yeah, he did.
Wasn't nobody really attacking the basket like Jordan was. Wasn't nobody trying to dunk on people like Jordan was. He literally,
Magic
you had
attacked
all
the
these high
basket?
flyers. What?
think Magic
Man,
attacked the
Magic
basket?
was
Really?
doing this. Doing this. He was doing this.
I mean, he played every position on the court.
But what did you just say, though? MJ averaged 30, 40,
Shooting twos, all twos.
shooting twos,
He shot some
Couple threes
threes.
in
He shot some threes.
defensive player, MVP, all the awards you can get. He made the people around him better. 6 championships. It don't get no better than that. If MJ was not in Chicago, there would be no.
There wouldn't be no Chicago Bulls. So now that we've said all this and we recognize Jordan is the best, now how did LeBron change the game?
I never said he changed the game. Did I say he changed the game? I say he was
No, we talking about
He
good
said, how did he
status.
become the best? And I was like,
Oh, the best?
he
I
said, well,
mean-
being the best is like, well, you got to change the game. You change the game. Had an impact on
LeBron
it.
just dominated. Like, so, I'm going to reference your point where you said, Jordan was in the era when they was playing defense. LeBron came in 2003. They were still playing defense in 2003. Nowadays, he about to be 40. That man is about to be 40 years old. Now they ain't playing defense, but
LeBron
still averaging.
expanded the game. I'll say that.
Yeah,
Okay,
I also
okay,
I wouldn't
okay,
say
I
I wouldn't say
He actually-
I like that.
I like that.
I wouldn't say
He averaging
Okay,
30
I like
at
that.
almost
Because
40.
LeBron literally can do everything.
Anything.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
And I think he's a better leader than MJ than he was. Only because of how he leads. He understands how to talk to different people. MJ really didn't care.
he gonna
You know, that's
He
fair.
gonna
That's fair.
talk to you like
That's fair. That's
any
fair.
kind of way.
Yeah, same as how
But what
Kobe.
you gonna do? You gonna get on board?
Same as how
Well,
Kobe.
matter of
was.
fact, you're not on the team no more.
You want somebody that's gonna coddle you, or you want somebody that no, because GM LeBron that can make one call.
That is true.
But you know what? Stephen A. made a great point on one of his shows when he was talking about LeBron, and it's hard to agree with Stephen A. sometimes. But he made a great point when he said, when they were asking him about like who's the best or who has a better legacy, and he was like Jordan. They was arguing back and forth, and they said, well, listen, this is what I'm saying. When it came down to mentality, who had more of the killer instinct? It's MJ all the way.
Yeah.
And he
Absolutely.
Said, and he said that's the differentiator. He's like, not that LeBron's not one of the best, not that he won't elevate the team. He's like, when he gets there, he's going to do what he's supposed to do and be a great player. He said if somebody bumps into LeBron or fouls him or start talking stuff to
gonna
LeBron's just going to, he going to play his role. He going to still score his points. He said, but Jordan will embarrass you.
Yeah.
And that's the point where I was like, he's right. Like, Jordan will you elbow me or you whisper in my ear like, yeah, what happened to that 40 you scored the other night? You only got 10. It's the third quarter.
Jordan go.
But also too, I
Jordan's
think
coming at you
people.
every single play now. He's putting up 40 points in the fourth quarter on you.
I wish LeBron had that same mentality, though.
But I think they're intimidated by LeBron. It was one video where I think the guy tipped the ball and hit LeBron in his head. And he turned around.
Austin Rivers.
And he was like,
Austin Rivers.
he's like, no. But with MJ, they would be like, what's up?
Yeah, they would
You know?
beat MJ. Boy, they used to beat MJ ass.
Yeah, but MJ was skinnier and shorter too.
Yeah, he was.
It was 2 inches.
I mean, shoot, and what? Probably like 30 pounds lighter. Before he cut his hair off.
But the Detroit Pistons, though, I mean,
He took a beating.
he took
That's
a beating.
what made him get in the gym. That's what made
He
him.
was, you know.
Yeah.
But Steph Curry did change the game. You got kids now. As soon as they step foot on the court, it's not no layups. You're supposed to work inside out. They going straight to,
Pulling up from half court.
you know. And now I think Caitlin Clark is like the Steph Curry of, you know.
Bro, she was pulling up from the logo, hitting.
I mean, just
That's a once in a
bro.
century right there athlete probably. Man.
Yeah.
Like to be able to do what she's doing right now, I was like, to be a female, what was she, 6 foot? Yeah, I think she's like 6
yo,
foot.
she's a 6 foot point guard.
Yeah, 6 foot point guard and taking shots like that and putting up
Bruh.
points like that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I do want to see how that would translate
To
to the
WNBA,
league,
I
though.
do
You know,
too.
because it's very rare that you get a number 1 pick and they come in and they're just dominating.
Yeah.
That hasn't happened since maybe Asia Wilson, maybe
Maybe, what's her name? Maya Moore?
Maya Moore. You know, I had this debate with somebody.
Dominated though.
Maya Moore dominated.
But I
boy.
mean, amongst everybody,
What?
Maya
year
Moore.
one?
Yes.
I don't know.
So I got a question for
I don't
you.
know about
I've been
year
having
one.
this debate with Omar. He's like, Caitlin Clark. Look,
Yeah, because he always talking shit about himself.
he said Caitlin Clark is the best player to ever come out of NCAA women's basketball. And I was like,
Oh, no.
no.
That is way too soon to even say that.
Yeah.
Way too soon. Like I gotta see a
no.
lot more.
I mean, Breonna Stewart had 4 back-to-back NCAA
Championships.
titles, MVPs. I mean,
To say best
Ever.
But you know that's why you can't argue with. There's so many times I was just
Man,
walking
dude,
by
what's-
and I would hear him arguing. I'd be like,
I
"What you
don't watch
saying?
women's
What you
basketball
arguing
too
about?"
much.
While she was playing?
that's what I said.
Yeah, and I was be like,
You don't remember?
talking about?
Cheryl Miller,
Like,
Cynthia Cooper.
man.
Like, I mean,
You start reminding him, right? He like,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, what I'm saying though is to make it this far in the NCAA championship, score this many points. Like, you know, he keeps changing his lines a little bit. Yeah.
I'm still hurt Maya Moore ain't playing, though.
Why she ain't playing?
She cut her because she became an activist for this guy who was in prison.
Yeah.
And then once she got him out of prison, they ended up getting married, and she just started a whole new life. She
you know,
took a
I
break
think
from
she
basketball.
did like everything. She probably was like, you know what? I didn't play at every level. And it's like, what's next?
Because she won hella. I think she won like three championships too.
Yeah.
At UConn, yeah.
Literally.
But like, she was a dog.
My first year with the Sky, that was her last year she played. So I was like,
Did you get to learn a lot from her? It was kind of like the dang, it's year one. I mean, I bother her right now.
you know what? Sometimes it's like you don't even want to say anything, but I was guarding her one possession. I was like, man.
I was just like, don't let her blow by me or do
I'm guarded. Oh my goodness. This is the time of my
She
life.
pulled up in transition for a 3 and I contested, but it was all net. I was like, it's my can't be mad.
You know, my ego doesn't go down when that happens.
Yeah.
When you miss the shot, then I'm like, my ego goes up a little bit. Like,
Good
yeah,
defense, good defense.
Good defense, yeah.
Exactly. Keep it moving.
Nah, yeah, but she's amazing though.
So is it, I mean, other than the accolade of being in the WNBA, is it worth playing in the WNBA compared to just going overseas and just getting highlighted by the world and probably getting treated a lot better?
Man, that's a good question. I think if you really love the game, like you should strive to get to the league. It's like that's the highest level. You want it on your resume.
exactly.
Like, man, you played in the league. You played against the best.
Yeah.
And if you get a job after that, corporate wise, they love them athletes, especially if you put on your resume like NCAA championship.
Oh,
or,
yeah.
Or WNBA
WNBA,
champion. They
yeah.
like, let's have you come in because they fans or they love
Man.
sports, which most of them do love
But
sports.
overseas, they love you. Like they treat you like,
I just think of Love
Royalty.
What team did you play for overseas?
oh man, I've played
Shanghai
everywhere.
Knights.
You were in low key, but you were in China. Your
2016.
your first time overseas was it China first?
Oh, my first time. I don't even know.
Man, I mean,
Maybe you having some weird ass names.
Because there's so many leagues, bro. There's so many
I ain't gonna lie. When I
leagues.
first went to China, I just knew I was gonna order like some shrimp fried rice or something. They like, what is that?
like,
Real?
say no, can I get some
Yeah.
Chinese
Even when I
food?
went to Italy and I went up to a restaurant, I was like, yeah, can I get like chicken Alfredo? They're like, That's Americans. We don't
We know you
do.
ain't from around here.
Right.
Right.
What?
Oh,
Go
man.
to China, like, can I get some orange chicken? I'm like,
Right? What's that? Even in Israel, it's like a Miami, Tel Aviv. But I've been to places where the food was terrible, or just the vibe was off.
Yeah.
But my favorite place is like Puerto Rico. People ask all the time, like, why do you play there? It's not the top league. Like, it's just I'm like, because I'm living a life. Right. They pay well.
and they treat me good.
And they treat me good. Like,
So is it true that they pay you and you get they like house you and all that for free? Or you have to pay for all your housing and all that too?
no, I just show up. Like, my housing, my car. Even sometimes it depends on your contract, right? Like, my first year, my groceries was in that. Like,
That's crazy. So
all I had to do
just
was,
there to hoop.
I'm just there to hoop.
Life is good.
Life is literally, good. But in some places, like my first year overseas was a disaster. Like,
Just a culture shock wise, or just the food, the culture.
it was just everything. Like, the apartment was terrible. It was mold. Like, I didn't have any furniture, no Wi-Fi.
What country was this?
This was Israel.
Israel.
And I was like, I don't know if I can do this.
Hey, agent, get me up out of here. Get me up out.
But you know what I tell people? Like, my first year, my agent was like, I can't be an agent no more. So while I'm overseas, I'm trying to figure out, like,
A new agent now.
a new agent. And I was, like, switching jobs.
Yeah.
So it's, like, tough.
Yeah.
Now he moved agencies, or
He's not even an agent. I don't even know, like,
just gave up with okay.
But I tell kids all the time, like, be honest with yourself. Like, can you really make it to the league? If not, don't even, like,
Try.
it's hard.
Yeah.
Like, with my resume, I was projected to go second round. I'm watching the draft with my family. I see my name scrolling best available, and I didn't get drafted. Right? And that's when I started to learn the business side of it. And it's like, it don't really matter if you're good or not, but it's just a matter if this team wants you at this time about the opportunity. So I still got called to camp. New York, Minnesota called. I'm like, man, Chicago sound good.
Yeah.
And I went there and I beat out everybody. And that's how I end up, then they end up re-signing me. So it was just like, it was cool. But it's always, it's not enough money, not enough teams, not enough rosters.
There's some 12 teams in the WNBA?
12 teams. And it was 12 spots, but now some teams are barely breaking 10.
Wow.
You pay one player $265,000, but the cap is $1.3 million. You still gotta.
Yep, got to make the rest of it
Which
work.
which team has the biggest market?
Probably LA, huh?
I think now Vegas.
The Vegas?
Vegas?
Yeah, I think it's Vegas too.
And I think the biggest thing with the W is marketing. When we go to Vegas, it's pictures, flyers,
It's a lot
jerseys.
easier though, man. I feel like you go to the strip and just blow it up if you want.
I remember when they first brought Vegas, and I was in Vegas when it happened,
Man.
and they were everywhere, like signage and everything. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like they really pushing the Las Vegas Aces.
But you know what? They don't have a lot of teams in Vegas, so that's probably why they.
This was when they was this was the year before they got the Raiders.
Yeah.
'cause
I think they should move
what they
this
had.
season, though.
Yeah. So
I don't think it should be a summer season.
I agree.
I think it should be during the time of NBA. And the reason why I said it is because it's the winter time. It's more so like everything is kind of slowing down. Okay, I'll go to a Bulls game on a Thursday. Okay, on Friday I'll catch the Chicago Sky. But the summertime, it's like, oh man, the team plays Saturday at 3. I'm trying to be at you.
I said this some random times because I got invited to some Sky games, and I was like, it's on a Tuesday at 12. I'm like, damn, that's the middle of the work day.
Unless it's the finals,
I went to a lot of them.
They got to do a better job at
I
that.
gotta work. I gotta activate or something.
I think they should move it. But now it's a battle between overseas and a W. So
Yeah.
the W is like, well, we're paying y'all more, so we need y'all here.
Yeah.
But
Are they
overseas
paying
is,
y'all more though? The WNBA?
they're not, but they feel like because
They
they
are.
stretched it,
Okay.
they need 100% commitment. But then you have some players that's playing overseas for 8 months making, $20,000-$25,000 a month.
Damn.
And then you got to come back to the league, and it's like, okay,
Make 50,000 for the whole.
So it's like it's a year-round job.
Plus, I mean, shoot, places like Europe, it's love living over there, man. It's like a whole different culture, for real.
Whole different culture.
I just got one more question. I done seen you hoop. So how many times
You think
do
she good?
dudes be? Oh yeah, she quick.
You just saying that?
Quick
You
as
just saying that because she right here?
No, I
See your hoop?
He's
open
I
gym?
think she good.
Is she good?
Yeah.
Yeah,
She lefty too, so
She got a little jump on
him. Yeah,
It's all right.
left hand.
It's decent.
We can go to the court too.
All right, let's go. Right outside.
But how often do dudes be like, "Oh, you a female hooper? Or like, let's play 1-on-1. I think I can bust you."
Oh man,
Like,
That's a line for the ages.
all the time.
Oh, you
Literally.
I bet y'all beat your ass. You like,
Hey, come on, let's.
I don't know if
go
you
to the court
flirting
and
with
hoop.
me or if you just trying to get an ego boost. Like, what's up? Like,
Man, that's like the number. They got to kill that line.
Yeah.
It's got to be something else. But the 1-on-1, that's got to go.
yeah.
That's
a
gotta
lot
go.
of dudes don't
Love
know.
basketball,
Like, women in the WNBA got game, bro. Like they'll hit you with some shit, and you'll be like, "Whoa!"
I mean, you seen the co-ed flag football league in Chicago? Like the girls are good.
Yeah.
They are the ex-college basketball players,
Yeah.
or soccer players, or something like that. Like, I'll make sure I don't get embarrassed out there, especially on my game. So I'll be
I
talking.
wonder what they say to athletes, other athletes. They can't say, "Yo, let's go play a 1-on-1."
Yeah.
Like
So if you playing flag football, what you gonna tell a girl? Like, I don't know.
I route you up real quick.
I bet you I can guard you. Like that's usually what it is. Like I bet you I could stick you and whatnot. Hey, I've seen guys get embarrassed out there.
I've definitely seen it. I've seen.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I've
I
seen
mean-
guys where I literally would have to coach players when I used to coach the team. I'm like, look, I'll just tell you this, like that girl is good. I was like,
I've
so-
embarrassed some guys myself.
Right. I'm like, yo, I'm a
You play
guard.
flag
her.
football?
No, I'm talking about basketball.
okay,
Basketball, yeah, anybody can get this work.
Yeah.
But
Go ahead. You said you want to go outside.
Shout out to the Bible class. We'll go to the real court. Gotta make sure my knees, don't start swelling up. And she gonna say I'm using the excuse. But I'm like, damn, my knees swell up on this asphalt. I gotta get to the real floor.
yeah.
But
Let me-
it's not
let
bad
me get
because
ball
I used to
first.
Coach some of the guys, like the guys that were just average on our team.
Yeah.
I would be like, yo, if we ever get in a situation, man to man, where I'm not on her, and she's about to score, just go ahead and get a PI.
Yeah.
I like grab her shirt, do something. I said, do not let her score on you.
They couldn't hang with her speed wise. They could match her.
Sometimes it's more agility than it is speed.
Yeah.
So the problem with guys is they think like, oh, because I'm a guy, I'm faster than this girl. You
I'm
might
automatically
be.
better.
If this girl's shifty and can move and knows her body better than you know yours,
He must not have
okay,
played
over.
football then.
Huh?
He must not have played football then.
Come on, now. Ain't no real football. Ain't nobody who's played real sports like D1, D2, and above. I would say D3. I ain't gonna hate on you, dog. You were good. You were good. Has respect for other female athletes or any athlete. Period. That's
Yeah,
played
most
at
times.
a certain level.
Yeah.
Now, when you got people that only play high school, things like that, like they always got an ego and they always think like, oh, she a girl. And an athlete knows an athlete. Like you just see them like, okay, yeah, I could tell like the way they talk, the way they move. Like,
Yeah.
they probably got some game.
Yeah, like the aura, yeah.
Yeah, the other guys, they like, no, I'm like, I mean, you think she gonna outrun me? I said, bro, it's not about her outrunning you. Okay, she will run a 10-yard in and embarrass you.
It's just if you underestimate anybody.
Exactly.
And I
Yeah,
think
you don't
I
wanna
think
do
that's
that.
what a lot of them
Exactly.
do. They
Like I've
underestimate.
always struggled to play against teams that weren't as good. Always struggled.
Hard. They like,
And I'm like, but if it's like a better team, I'm like, yeah, it's go time. You know, so
especially when they think you're a little soft.
Competition brings out the best in you.
So who you
really
looking
does.
who you looking forward to play this year?
so for me now,
You
my
got marked out on the schedule. I can't wait to play.
my ultimate goal is to be an Olympian. Next year it's in Paris.
I love me, Petty.
And so that's what I'm going after right now. So training for that. So it's a full year of like, training. That's my ultimate.
Yeah, good luck.
Like I have gold medals with USA, but going every 4 years, I haven't made it to that yet.
Yeah.
So it's like if I do that,
You gonna retire?
I don't know.
Still a lot, yes.
I want to play as long as I can. If it's 10 years, I'll play 10 years.
Yeah.
But going overseas, I don't know. Being gone for 8-9 months, because there's so much I could do at home. Like
Home always be here.
that is true, but it,
Changes a lot.
You gonna turn down $25,000 a month?
no, I would never turn that down. I would never turn that down, but it's just tough. You miss out on so much being gone for 8 months.
It changed. The world changes a lot back at home.
Yeah, I come back home and I'm like,
Like,
man.
we going to this spot? Girl, that spot big closed. You like, yeah, like I feel salty as hell. I ain't know that.
I drove downtown. I think I had to go pick up something. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go to the Macy's downtown. It was like, this Macy's ain't been here for 3 years. I'm like,
Wait, the one in Watertown?
Go to Macy's.
I walked in. I was like, I know it used to be right here.
Right here.
I was like, oh no, it's gone.
Right. So with that being said, I know we coming definitely to a close. You have a non-profit organization too, right? I want you to get a chance to shout that out before we go ahead and bring it to a close.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, I started my nonprofit in 2019. It's called that Harper Kid. Got the name from Rahm Emanuel. He came to Whitney Young, the best school.
Yeah, I wouldn't hone in on him going there.
Ron wasn't that good.
Corrupted the best out of that school. Now go ahead.
Yeah, he came and spoke to us. And he was like, "Aren't you that Harper kid?" And I was like, "Oh, that's." So the name kind of stuck. That's what people started to call me, and then that just kind of turned that into my mission. Like you could be that kid too, whatever you put your mind to. And I had no hopes of doing anything in the community outside of a back to school event. Like that was my way of staying connected to the city. Because once I got to the league, it's a different world.
Yeah.
Like you experience so much, and I'm like, I need to stay connected. But when COVID hit, it was nothing. That's when I started to work with the kids. And so now it's, we have programming, and I've, worked with over like 750 kids now. So
Is it about developing their schools as a hooper or education-wise, opportunities, scholarships? What?
it's a mix of everything. My focus is getting the athletes prepared for college. Like making sure they understand, the difference between an official visit, unofficial visit. Understanding all levels. It doesn't matter if you go to an NAIA, junior college. If they give you the most money, like go.
Yeah.
And even with Ohio State, I got 2 degrees now. I graduated in August, but they paid for it.
Yeah.
So pretty much that.
If you can go during the summers, go through the summers, man. Go ahead and be that 4th year, get that master, working on that master's for sure.
Yeah.
And I work with only girls, but they're like, "You gonna do something for the guys, for the little boys?" And I'm
It's
like,
enough out
Girls
there
need
for them.
"They got enough."
Enough opportunities for the guys.
Yeah, I'm like, so that's all I pretty much do when I'm home. It's just gearing up my nonprofit, and
Well, shout out, man.
Does it
Harper
go
kids.
year round, or is it just a summer program?
Yes, right now it's just like throughout the year. But 2024, I'm working on like going year round.
Okay.
So we having programs every quarter, 4 to 6 weeks. So
Okay.
it's going pretty cool. I love it. I could do that when I'm done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have something. It's good. You're giving back to the community.
Yeah, they're like, "Are you going to coach when you're done?" I'm like, "No, I don't want to coach, but I want to stay close to the game." Yeah.
I appreciate you, dog.
Thank
For
you.
real. I appreciate
Thank
you,
y'all
dog,
so
man.
much.
You're
Yeah.
all-star. Good luck on your next venture. Good luck on the Olympics. I'm just gonna say that you're gonna be on that team.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Into existence. Positive
absolutely.
affirmations.
Absolutely.
Right when it happened, we got to bring this clip back up and be like,
yeah.
"Man, we talked."
We got you back on before you leave. For it.
Right, that's
Yo,
true.
Tell us what it's like, training for it, blah, blah, blah.
Right,
And then once
yeah.
y'all win it, then we got you back on again, for sure.
No, I appreciate that.
So let them know how they can find you on the gram.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, _Harper Kid. My other pages on there as well, and thanks for having me.
No, of course.
Thank y'all. Thank
Go
y'all.
ahead, you can find me at Bald Ass Celeste. Go ahead, Jared.
Okay, Jared.
Yeah, done. J Jones _05.
He almost forgot his stuff.
I forget all.
Am I success
bro.
or
Just-
no? You can find me at Handsome Phenom, man.
Yeah, please don't come.
Let's hate this name, bro. But all the ladies look, hey, he the only one I ever knew to hate the name, man.
All right, thank you for tuning in to the Gentleman's Lounge. We got another episode, and we out.